Time. Open up the audio files, and then we're gonna
Every time we
switch
touch, I get
Open up the
feeling.
audio files.
to
Now.
the current live version of us. Hello and welcome to Dying of Exposure, Cosmos Candela, another episode in the ongoing arc of Veles on Sexy Tuesdays here on Dying of Exposure.
No, it's Toasty Tuesday. Didn't we
Toasty.
say Toasty?
It's Toasty Tuesday.
Okay,
It's
Toasty
Toasty
Tuesdays.
Tuesday.
It's winter.
It
It
is
is winter if
winter.
you're above the equator.
winter.
Yes.
It is a seasonal label. We will workshop it once we're out of winter.
We have several
Tawdry
months to
Tuesdays.
think of
That's
spring
alliterative. How about Tawdry Tuesdays?
No.
Tawdry? No? Okay.
No.
All right. All right.
No.
No
Tired of this
tawdriness.
bullshit Tuesdays? Yes, I am.
Tired of this bullshit Tuesdays. Always true.
Titillating Tuesdays.
Yeah. And so
Absolutely not. That's the furthest down the list.
we are back. We're
I need
back.
to make a list of how
Uh,
terrible this is. And
la-
put it back here.
Let's do a little bit of a recap, if you will, from last session.
Yes, I am Will.
I'm gonna have you do the if you will. All right, you're gonna be cute about it.
Yes, I will.
Last time on Veles,
It's the cute
I
tax.
will. You, Steve.
last time on Veles, Eddie found his way in the dark to try and get himself home over the bodega that Mr. and Mrs. May were currently guarding, and all of the blackout
Mr. and
looting.
Mr. May?
Oh, it was Mr. and Mr. May. You're right. You are
Yes.
correct. Mr. and Mr. May. We're guarding with like pulse rifle or pulse shotguns. Against both panicked people due to the power outage and panicked people that were more aggressive and looking to loot in the moment, while trying to sneak past and just get to their room because that's all they wanted to do. Our poor man was assaulted a little bit or grabbed, and when trying to just nicotine patch shock patch the fellow, unfortunately Will rolled very low
Took a turn.
and knocked themselves unconscious. We pivoted over
We've all
to
been there.
our wonderful bird inspired alien call center employee Nim, who started hearing voices on the phone, and being that they are in fact a translator for a translator service, could not help but resist to listen in deeply. And after a rendition of some memorable but like also strange foreign chanting that they began to understand, and some deep melancholic memories to a adopt a pet video and In the Arms of the Angel playing in the background, their eyes teared up deeply and emotionally as they went into almost like a trance-like state of a trance-like state of no longer being connected to the physical world around them, while being carried down the stairwell.
Both Eddie and Nim have experienced a different version of a trip in the last two
Everyone's tripping
sessions.
last session.
Our big strong boys.
Mumbling.
In Eddie's case, it was more of a trip and fall.
Yeah, a little bit. Our big strong boys, Kilo and Izzy, quite literally ran into each other as Kilo was avoiding the security pods that also ran into some sort of invisible force and dropped like flies, trying to pursue the floating bodies of the chorus as they lifted a loss over the kind of empty mezzanine of the center of the station of Veles. After some mildly galactically racist comments by me, assuming that all scaled people are related, of course.
How dare you?
How dare I?
Oh, that's right.
And the announcements on various security drones for people to shelter inside. They went to tuck into sort of like a corner in an alleyway to get a better idea, and Izzy had the very good idea of calling a friend that friend is a strong word, that he was pretty sure would have power and be aware of what was going on. Where we panned to Tery, who was streaming in their thing and got visitors for the first time in a year to their physical location home, and excitedly ran
They
to
were
the
so excited about.
ran to
So
the
excited about
so
visitors.
excited. And then it turns out two medical professionals, emergency medical professionals, one of them a Baby Bite, which is of course a Tery Bite fan from a certain era of Tery streaming. The Baby Bites, they're passionate even as they age. But due to some bold role choices of trying to prevent, they want to help, but they have their family back home or family out on the stream, and they can't disappoint their family. But unfortunately, they were not convincing, and a bunch of gurneys with injured victims were rolled in to their location. We, as the audience, saw the form of Eddie and the form of Nim, both kind of unconscious or pseudo unconscious on said gurneys. On said gurneys, but we also saw our friend, our very lovely friend, Tommy Two Shoes, or rather Eddie's friend, and his large, bulky, muscular, and I remember this, mantis-looking associate, that is his kind of personal muscle, raise up and pull out essentially a blaster pointed at Tery, who screamed, which then Izzy and Kilo overheard on the phone. Before we go to
Everything sounds fine.
Yeah. So before we go to Izzy and Kilo, Tery, you have your communicator. It is unpaired from your stream, so you don't need to worry about your stream overhearing all of this drama and concern.
Yes.
My question to you is: does Tery hang up the communication device, or do they just hold it, or do they drop it? What kind of afraid is Tery? Gun pointed at him.
Honestly, he is so terrified and pathetic a little bit. He not only he drops it, he goes to the floor immediately.
Okay, he drops
Don't
it.
kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me.
Tery.
Tery, I would like you to give me a D6 roll. This is purely a luck check. 4 through 6, the phone stays on. 3 through 1, the phone turns off when you drop it. The communicator.
2.
Phone shuts off.
No.
Gosh.
No.
I mean,
Okay,
Jesus,
so
scary.
Tery, you drop immediately to the ground. Now, there
Yes.
are medical professionals out in the hall currently ferrying other people in gurneys to this like makeshift hospital in this moment, that is also your place of residence, and where many people that are also relatively affluent are being aggressively put out by the needs of their community, and everything. So you can hear all that rumbling in the hall, but more importantly, you hear Tommy Two Shoes sort of step slowly closer in his kind of pinstripe suit, sort of classic 1940s era, like styled up mafiosa kind of look. And he kind of lowers the blaster and cocks it. Why do future energy blasters need to be cocked like regular revolvers and pistols? I don't know, but this one does.
It's for the flavor.
It's for the flavor.
Because you want it.
It's vibes.
It goes
Yeah.
with the vibe, the whole thing.
And he goes, well, don't we have a celebrity here? Look at this, buddy.
Yeah.
We've got Tery Bite himself, most beloved internet influence personality.
The big bite.
Hey,
Hello.
big fans, Tery. Big fans. How you doing?
Not my best right now, but
Well,
overall good.
it's a stressful time. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of things that aren't going well on the station.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You know what? I knew you'd have the kind of empathy. You're already being so kind, housing all of these lovely injured folk in the hospital due to the power outage complications. Housing them like a clinic that you set up yourself. Downright angel.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
I love them.
they love you. That's why so many people love you, Tery. Tery, I know that you have a heart of gold, and I know that you'd do anything to help your fans.
Um, who? Yes.
All right. Well, here. Stand up. Get up off the ground. Stand up, Mr. Butt.
He stands up immediately, like jolts.
Yeah. And so the blaster is still pointed at you, but it's a little casual. It's like kind of elbow down, just sort of up at the hip. And he goes, "Well, I'm sure you recognize me. I'm of course one of your biggest fans."
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yes, of course. And
yes.
as your biggest fan, it's almost like I've won some sort of raffle or something, getting to meet you in person in your very own beautiful place too.
Yes. You can. Do you want a drink? There's drinks. What else? There's a super cool old time radio you can use. You can put your gun on your blaster on the table if it's heavy. You can do whatever. It's your house.
You're so considerate.
It's your house.
You're so. See, what did I tell you? Looks back at the big brooding thug behind him. What did I tell you? Class act all the way. You know what's great about?
He's trying to be casual as well. And shaky.
You know what's great
Just
about
smiling sweat
people
just
like
streaming down
like Tery is that they give and they give and they give, and a person like Tery, we're gonna switch over to some mild modifications so that everything makes sense on the stream. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, everybody's lined up.
There we go.
Guy like Tery, right? Guy like Tery, he's gonna do anything he can for his friends and his fans and his family. He's gonna give them the shirt off his back. If they need a loan, Tery's right there. Right, Tery? That seems like the kind of guy you are.
Tery.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, me and my buddy here, who will remain unnamed because it's not that important, we thought that it would be kind to ask you. We've been in a little bit of a complex situation, and we need a little bit of income flow to kind of change our luck. But that's not a problem for someone like you, Tery. You've been around forever. You've got plenty to share, right?
Right.
I
do.
So, how about you show me around? I'm not so interested in a drink, but what are some of the unique things that you got around here? I noticed a lot of old stuff around here. What is that? A fidget spinner? Why do those keep coming back into fashion?
People be fidgeting all over
this is worth
it's a vintage spinner.
It's a vintage spinner. You know what also is... Oh, go on.
I have a question. There's people sick here or like unconscious.
Yeah.
The people who brought them here are still here, or is
so they're currently, you can kind of overhear them. They're going door to door through the hallway. It does sound like there's lots of people outside. You are not, your door is closed, but you are not alone in this building. You could theoretically at any time call out for help, Tery, with a gun pointed right at you.
I mean, I could. It would be such
water everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
Does Tery have a panic button? somewhere.
Does Tery have a panic
He's got to
button?
have life alert on him somewhere.
Maybe
Help, I've fallen.
Tery
My-
is a celebrity.
Yeah,
Help, I've fallen. Please,
maybe
please, please.
it's literally clutching the butthole.
Clutching.
Just
It's
say
just
clutching. I'm
installed.
sorry. Did you just say
You-
clutching the
click to the-
butthole?
Clenching.
You clench in a certain sequence of ways, like an
Clench.
Sorry.
SOS.
He's not holding his own ass. He's just clenching it.
Okay, I'm with
You-
you.
you-
Very
I knew what it was.
Exactly. Yeah, you
We
clench
knew
more
what it
so
was.
SOS.
I thought I misunderstood butthole, but then I realized no, we
Whoa.
actually were talking butthole.
All
That's
right.
the part I thought I misunderstood.
Where would it be?
In front of my
The panic
salad.
button.
Yeah. And so,
I don't know.
do you
Your panic
want?
Under my desk.
Are you earnestly telling me that historically, and this is 100% fine, are you saying that one of Terry's long-lived upgrades is a panic button
In
in right where the panic button would most need to like be?
I think it makes sense because remember he has a kid's finger,
Yeah.
on his
Body.
arm.
We
Yeah.
haven't decided where the baby finger is. We've not
So-
decided where that baby finger
I
is.
hate the baby finger.
it's like
Oh
Boy,
my.
you're in a
Imagine-
pinch. Well, you're in a
I
pinch. You're
imagine-
clench.
I-
You're
No.
up there in a
It
second.
could be the button could be like right beside the baby finger, so it.
It's
But
just-
like, it's only for
It's like one of
panicking.
those
It's for
coin
nothing
banks
else
with
but
the
for
cat
panicking.
paws, where it's just got the one purpose to scoop the coin. The
The
baby
one
finger
useless
just is the panic button.
I've heard of shaving your ass, but this is ridiculous.
I
How
I feel
dare
like
you.
with as long as Tery has
How dare
been
you.
like a content creator, they've probably definitely had like a stalker
This is
before
a weird
at some
version
point,
of
one
Oh,
point
yeah.
or
You
another.
have to have a stalker
And
at
I
some point.
let
Yeah.
him in, and he didn't want to come.
No, this all
You're in a
tracks.
pinch, give your cheeks a clench.
This all tracks. Like I'm 100% fine with this. So,
Okay.
It's a panic, but on.
How dare you.
Stop
So
it.
normal.
a normal panic button. Okay, so
Normal panic
Tery,
button in a normal place.
you're
In a
you're
normal-
pressing your silent alarm,
Silent
if you
but
will.
informative.
Your silent alarm. I'm
Silent
gonna
but
have
not-
you roll another roll for me, please.
Oh my god.
And
Yes.
the roll that you're gonna roll, Tery, is I need you to roll. This is almost a historic roll for you.
This is
Um,
wild.
This is almost a historic roll for you. I'm gonna have you roll focus, which is actually
Okay.
a pretty good stat for you.
Focus
And
on
this
your
is
fire.
not based off your focus in the moment.
Hey.
This is based off of past Terry's
You have to focus on your degree of
intelligence and ability to research who was the best emergency private service to attach to the other end of that panic button. Because,
Oh,
of
boy.
course, everything in Veles is almost everything in Veles is a privatized organization. So if you want the good, but if you want the good services, so this will be Terry's panic button roll.
Your celebrity might save
Which-
you right now.
You
Which
roll
we
one
don't
die.
know. We don't have a
It's a
canon
twist.
where it's located yet.
Yeah,
But
Oh wait,
Oh.
so it's not in the butthole.
we don't.
I
we-
know.
It's
you
I
can
refuse-
prove it.
it's
Every time you
Schrodinger's
say-
butthole panic button. It is
I'm
both
sorry,
in
Julia-
and not in the
Julia
butthole.
said I don't know, but then refused to make eye contact with me when she said it. So
Yeah.
I don't believe her, and I know she knows.
Can we also like point out the fact that in order for this to be a functional thing, you would have to you would have to program it in such a way that like farting does not accidentally
Yeah,
set
of
it
course,
off.
of course, of
Yeah.
course. Like,
Like a certain sequence of clenches. You clench
yeah, you have to
SOS.
understand. Terry keeps an incredibly strong pelvic floor, and so
You also don't
Essential.
know where my farts come out.
that's
of.
true. They
That's
could have been
true.
rerouted.
You may
That's
have
true.
surgically removed your farts. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
all
true.
very
Yes.
valid option.
It's all builds.
It's so
all
like
thought
basically
out.
instead of like an audacious, it's just kind of a small out the back of
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
It's,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a vent.
Yeah,
It's
very
actually
gentle.
it's actually the Nokia ringtone. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, very nostalgic.
Anyway,
So, do I
focus
roll
roll.
two?
We've lost
Guys?
Abby. We've lost
Well,
Abby.
focus
Sorry,
of 2
Abby.
die. I'm gonna say that I know that you used some of your drives
You're
previously.
muted, bud. I don't know if you can.
What?
Abby was
It's best
talking
for all
to
of
us.
you that I was very, very
Okay.
I'm going to say
I've
that
been
you
in
have.
hell for 15
I know that
minutes.
you used several of your drives last time, so I'm going to say
Yes.
that I will allow you to use at least, or I will allow you to use one drive on this, if you would like,
Okay.
so you could roll 3d6 instead of 2d6.
Yes, I'm
roll
gonna
a
do
one,
that,
I
and
get-
I
Izzy gets a
marked
text.
that I'm using
Ah.
a drive in intuition
Mm-hmm.
for focus. Okay,
Come on, Julius.
6.
Good. Yes. Yes.
Finally.
So
You clench
the
those
panic
cheeks.
button
We got things
is
to do.
somehow triggered either by. I like that our main two options right now are either by a butthole or a tiny baby finger that is positioned perfectly to push the panic button
Neither is
wherever
great,
that could
and
be
both are
on
awful.
Terry's body.
Uh,
A
This is
horrifying
just
thought.
the rumors.
These are all rumors. These are
just rumors.
these are
Is
some.
Terry's body just purgatory?
Abby!
Is
Terry's
his
body
body-
just purgatory?
Is he just stuck in his own purgatory?
I
of his
just
own
gotta, I
making
just
this entire
gotta, I
time?
gotta GIF glitch just pinky to the OK button. So
Don't.
the panic button is hit.
So dumb.
Terry, you're relatively confident that you are, or you're very confident that you have done what you need to do for your own safety in this situation, and you just need to play it along. But we're actually just going to pan ever so slightly away from our gaze on Terry and Tommy and the unnamed big heavy there to a sheet covered person head to toe as if his body was dead, but it very much is not. It's breathing and everything. Eddie, you awaken with a sheet over your face in a pleasant smelling location that you can't really see because of the sheet over your face and everything. What does Eddie do? A, is this the first time Eddie's woken up on a gurney somewhere? B, is what does Eddie do when he wakes up in this situation?
I will say no. This is not the first time this has happened to Eddie, but he will he is going to sort of panic, tear the sheet off him because he wants to make sure that they didn't put him in the morgue.
Fair, a big concern for Eddie.
Valid concern.
Making sure there's open air and not a body-sized refrigerator that he's in. Because if he's been here before, because if he's been here before, then yeah, no, he knows where he might be.
Yeah, you pull off the sheet. You see several gurneys around you. The one beside you, a person that you recognize. Their eyes watery and kind of eyes watery, sort of bird-ish features,
Just so sad.
humming with essentially a Bluetooth speaker earbud in their head ear hole, whatever their ear looks like, and everything, humming gently, are humming gently and everything. And that is weird because you recognize this person. You've hired this person before to do some light translation work, but so that's surprising. But more surprising is you seeing Tommy holding a blaster to Terry Bite, and you are in fact in this nice mix of sparse yet some places kind of cluttered and awkwardly positioned, very some would call it well pointed, some would call it kind of splish splash. It sort of depends on your design aesthetic. Apartment and everything.
Nicer
Nicer
than anything Eddie's ever seen.
Oh yeah, way nicer. And Tommy's there, and the Mantis is there, and Terry's there, and the person whose name you almost immediately recall his name is also unconscious beside you.
Name, Nim, same thing.
What's your name?
Nim.
What does Eddie do in this moment of complete relocation, shock?
Well, so let me ask: is the given the supernatural phenomena happening around us, and Eddie took some drugs to try to avoid hearing that. Are those drugs still in effect? Have those drugs worn off?
No, they have not. They'll be in your system for hours, but like the first kick, which is always kind of the strongest part of it, is gone. Now you've kind of normalized to like, effectively being buzz drunk, where it's like you probably shouldn't operate heavy machinery, but you're mostly about yourself at this point. But you cannot hear what you imagine. Or you cannot hear whatever Nim is humming or anything like that.
Okay. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it just sort of, there's a moment of what the fuck, you know? He's just sort of like looks over and does Nim seem to be like panicking themselves or?
Just active like mascara tear tracks down the face.
Just tear tracks, but the way that their eyes are looking, they've got that middle distance. I think to Eddie, this would look a little bit like an overdose.
Okay. All right.
For Nim.
Name.
So,
She's vibing.
No, she's
Nim.
not. She's sad.
She's got that melancholia.
I think so. As Eddie looks around and sees Nim, you know, going through it. Once again, if Eddie's under the impression like it might be an overdose, but they are conscious and not like they're no one's, you know, actively performing CPR on them trying to get them back.
Yeah,
they'll be all right. They'll get through it.
Yeah, they do have an IV in their arm.
Yeah. But Tommy's over there waving a blaster at somebody.
Yeah. And I think Eddie would at the very least recognize Tery, if not. So, most people recognize Tery.
So Eddie's gonna like get off the gurney and like is Eddie still dressed?
Yeah, they didn't nurse hospital. You're still in your clothes.
Okay. Eddie's gonna get up and just sort of like dash over, almost like in between like Tery and Tommy. Just be like, "What the fuck is going
on?" Tommy goes, "Eddie, well, holy shit! Look at who found their way our way." Eddie, we were just talking to our friend Tery over here about his wonderful place and the fact that he was going to be willing to help some of the folks here at a good old-fashioned Veles station, some of those in more need. See, he's got power, he's got beverages, of course. Would you like something to drink, Eddie? Tery's offering.
Yeah.
Tery, have you met my very good friend, Eddie?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I'm sure you're a fan too. Or not. It's okay.
It's what's with the like? Why the gun, Tommy? Was this the job?
No, this wasn't the job. This was an opportunity, Eddie. We found you. We found you unconscious in front of the maze bodega. We saw that people were coming to get you. We might have slipped a few credits in a few pockets to deliver us to a certain zone or location that would have us in a more affluent neighborhood, some of the emergency backup hospital locations. When there's a station emergency, it does well to read the safety manuals that are issued to all citizens of Veles, Eddie. You've got to be studious. And so we might have slipped some credits to get ourselves into this nice thing, and we happened in the Mr. Bite's wonderful domicile. And so it's you, me, Mr. Bite, and a number of probably soon to be stiffs or people that'll recover. I'm glad you're feeling up to it. And Tommy reaches with his other hand and like pats it. And so we're just taking the opportunity to thank Mr. Bite for his largesse of offering us various supplies in our great time of need. Right, Mr. Bite?
Right. So right. The most right.
All right. Okay.
Can I whisper to Eddie?
I will say that you can whisper. This would have to be a sneak check for you, but you're not bad at sneak, Tery. I don't think.
Hey.
Yeah.
If I may,
Ooh.
Ooh.
You may.
Obviously, if Tery wants to communicate something to Eddie, it could be like at the forefront of his mind and thinking like, please do this, please do this, please do this kind of thing. Might Eddie be able to hear that with commune?
Yes, in this scenario with what's going on around the station, I think Eddie would actually be able. That would break through.
Okay. So I need to take a brain mark and make a sense roll.
I think Eddie would. Oh, because I feel. Is it fair to say, Julia, that Tery's brain is basically screaming inside? Essentially,
Yes.
yeah. I assume that you're at very heightened panic spaces. So,
okay, and I rolled a 4 on that.
Mhm.
So, which is an answer on a 4 to 5 result. The phenomenon will ask a question in return. So, basically, I'll be able to hear. Basically, the way I think this would work is that it's the commune like it's a sort of mental like telepathic connection, but because I only rolled a 4, it's a two-way thing. You can hear what I'm thinking, and I can hear what you're thinking.
But I can't. But you hear what I want you to. I don't.
Well,
I
like
don't know you
basically,
can hear me.
what you want me to do, the message that you're trying to get to me, I will hear.
And then
Okay.
we'll.
But you will also hear something that I am thinking.
Oh.
Okay, so what is Tery
Too white and
thinking
left.
right now, or what was Tery
Help.
going to try and whisper? Just
Help.
pure
Help.
So real.
panicky help.
So real.
I don't want to
Help
die.
me.
Help. I can't. I can never die. Help.
I can never die. Not just I don't want to. I will never.
I will never die. Help.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And when Eddie hears this, because he hears this, this cry for help, but looks over to Tery, and it's, can very clearly see that Tery is, not moving his mouth to,
Yeah.
actively communicate.
Tery's just being all,
And I'm being like,
hey,
yeah, my friends.
Hey, my friends.
I'm having so much fun.
Finally, I have
It's
company.
the best.
So good.
I'm not fearful at all.
I will.
Try now. Soda me, Steve.
So in your head, as you're thinking that, is you do hear in Eddie's voice.
Eddie's voice.
I'm
more than good.
It's basically it's a double message of like, well, shit, the glass is wearing off. All right, don't worry. Let me think of something.
So Eddie has experienced this effect in his life before. Tery, you've experienced. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what the science is. You have definitely done things where you've plugged into things that give you kind of sensory experiences, make you see and hear and feel things that aren't physical. They're sort of like the evolved form of virtual reality. But those require connections, physical wires that connect to nerve centers in the brain. Like those require science, essentially. I don't know if Tery's ever experienced telepathy. This isn't a roll. This is a judgment call. So this is this person that you've just met beamed a thought into your brain, as far as you know. How does Tery respond to that physically?
He is my best friend. He's gonna save my life.
Anything.
Full hero worship
he's
immediately.
We're gonna be buddies. Yeah. So
any life raft within reach.
Yeah.
Although I would
think
like to point out that the initial response wasn't "Don't worry, I'll figure something out." There was a double response of "Don't worry, I'll figure something out." Right after, "Oh shit, the drugs are wearing off."
Yeah, I don't know what glass is, so I am thinking like
wearing off. I'll be fine.
I am looking around what glass, and then I'm like, oh, I don't think Tery has many people who care for like him or whatever he does with his life.
Aww.
So he's like, oh my god, I have a friend. He's gonna like help me.
I'm gonna help you.
So he keeps panicking, but like quietly.
Quietly. Okay. We're gonna cut now to our strong, scaly boys.
Scaly boy.
Rewind time a little bit.
In my flannel.
These flannel clad fellas.
Yeah. Attire because
All right.
in the gym.
That'd be great.
I'm actually in coveralls. This is just a joke. It's just a joke.
Sure. 100%. I'm gonna retcon something because I forgot about a connection that we had. So when Izzy called Tery and everything, and Tery picked up, said hello, and then screamed. Would Izzy use speakerphone, or would Izzy use regular phone? Glitch.
Regular phone.
Regular phone. Okay, so you heard the scream, and then you heard hello, scream, and then the line disconnected. And everything.
Tery.
You know a Tery.
I do know Tery. Who you talking about?
Tery. Bite.
Tery Bite. That's your friend Tery Bite.
I was about to call him, but now he called me, and then he screamed, "Let's go! Let's go!"
All right.
Okay, so you have to get from where you're at. Tery seems in trouble. This person that you've just met, Kilo, also seems to know a person who describes themselves as your extremely good friend, Tery.
My dearest friend.
Such a buddy. You talk so frequently.
Sincere. All the time.
All the time.
Dearest,
every other Wednesday when you go to pick up the
every
trash.
Other Wednesday, our regular visit.
Or your regular visit on your regular work route on that Wednesday.
Yeah. Convenient. Really.
Convenient. Your favorite garbage to collect, because you actually have to go up to the condominiums and then collect it from like their little they have an inside thing that they put it on, and then there's like an outside thing. But Tery always remembers when you're going to show up, even if you show up at a slightly different time.
Always does.
It's like he just has an instinct for it.
Always there.
He's at the door waiting for his one friend.
Yeah.
But
right on time.
But
that's right. 2 friends.
You're so popular.
So right now you have your clutch pedal as a vehicle. Your clutch pedal is built for some normal humanoid size. You are a little large on it, and Izzy also seems to know this person. What's the plan for getting to Tery
already?
Or does
Are you running?
Yeah, or does Izzy have a vehicle?
How far is Tery from Izzy?
I would say probably about 12 floors or 12 levels up, and probably on a different radial of the station. So a bit of a distance, probably like if you're in say a clutch pedal, probably like a 5 to 7 minute route.
Who are we kidding? Tery's not. I mean, Izzy's not thinking. He's just gone.
So Izzy's just taken off.
All right. Well, that's one way to do it, I guess. Can't you hold up? And he jumped on his clutch pedal.
It's a Doppler effect.
Really?
Full Doppler. So one running, one bicycling, hover biking.
5 to 7 minutes isn't terrible.
No, it's not. And Izzy, I want you to roll a move roll for me, please.
Oh, God.
You're gonna hop on my back.
And
Get
that
on my
is-
back.
Well, I got I got 2 dice, so that's 3 dice, or is it 2 dice?
2 dice, 2 dice, and if you want to make this ridiculous, you can use one of your many nerve drives.
Use a drive.
More
For the bit, I'm using a drive.
Let's see how fast Izzy moves.
I got a 5.
5. Pretty goddamn fast. This guy is used to just foot racing it on it. I need you know what? Let's do a move roll for Kilo. But since you're on your clutch pedal, I'm gonna give you a free die in your move as well. You don't have to use a drive for it.
Can I say Tery
that's
has what's the equivalent of rollerblades? He's just forgotten that he has them.
I also got a 5.
You are Kilo and Izzy. You are moving at exactly the same speed. Pretty quick on a clutch pedal. A little shockingly quick on foot.
What is your deal? What?
As you
As
make your way up.
Let's go.
All right, so you beeline
I'll
there.
have what he's having.
It's
Izzy's slowly converting into sport mode.
It's sport mode.
Is he getting more aerodynamic?
Is he Naruto running?
He may have frills, he may not. The frills may just
less resistance. So you two take off in a beeline with
throw him like a javelin.
with matching 5s. You do not run into any obstructions. There, you can see that there are actual like walking about security guards in certain areas that are like trying to get people to go inside. You can hear kind of again in the background. It's not affecting either of you mentally at this moment. You can hear the kind of quiet muttering because you're sort of running along the side and around this space. To do that as you move through it. So
We had a big stretch redeemed. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
You hear Izzy will be saying music by like just straight up like hey.
full animated
very
cartoon
possible to
character
make your own.
I
energy.
do not trust the company that I am in at this point in time.
You don't, but he seems to know where he's going because you know where Tery lives. You pick up his garbage.
Yes, of course.
And so at least
I
that
do
part
not
of the
trust the
story
plan.
checks out as you move up the several flights of stairs. Because it seems like the elevators have been closed, the lifts have been closed in this building, not permanently, but due to the current situation. So you both careen upstairs. You're gonna get to the door, Izzy and Kilo, at about the same time. What is the action? Do you knock? Do you do that? You're seeing right now various medical professionals going down the stairs, going for Gurney, like like EMT type people.
Can I make a survey roll just to see if I can glean any more information?
Yeah.
That's a 5.
This is pretty, I would say, normal in an emergency response. These seem to be one of many different things. The difference I think here that you catch is that these are not private hospital and healthcare workers. These are Veles station workers, which I think with a 5 I'll give you that reaffirms the seriousness of what the hell is going on.
All right. I'm glad Yancey went home.
Yeah. But yeah, do you stop any of the EMTs? Do you go straight to Tery's door? What do you two do?
Izzy has a one-track mind.
So Izzy's full focus. What about you, Kilo?
I approach one of the EMTs. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just here to visit my friend Tery. Does Tery have company right now?
Mr. Bite was so wonderful. You're talking to the EMT that is a Bite baby.
In background.
My baby.
Mr. Bite was so wonderful. He was willing to
Yeah, I
house some of
agree.
the injured in his beautiful
That
place.
sounds just like him.
Yeah, so wonderful. So he's got a bunch of company right now.
A bunch.
Well, I mean, the people we wheeled in on gurneys. I don't have the registration sheet. My supervisor does. I'm gonna get fired. And they just kind of move on.
Oh wait,
past.
How many did you say?
Like 10 or a dozen. And
Whoa.
10 or a dozen.
And they said their supervisor has the registration sheet.
yeah, like with the names on who's in there or not.
Okay. So okay. Do I see anybody that obviously looks like a supervisor, or are they already out of Dodge?
You saw them pass you a little bit earlier before you ran into
Okay.
my man.
All right,
So
that's
if you waited around, they would probably come back. But
I don't think we can risk that. All
or
right.
scream me up.
Do I know if this place like what is Terry's living situation again? Like, is there a back door to this establishment, or is there like a less obvious way other than the front door?
Julie, I'll let you define that.
Entry.
It is a multi-story condo complex, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you define if there's like a fire escape or like anything like that. That's fine. Like
I
that's
think
your place.
I think there's probably a fire escape because when I imagined with big like windows, like those bougie
Okay.
like,
Gotcha.
type of apartment. Yeah.
Yeah, so you do know that there are ways that you could get to
Draw out
Terry's
good
from
sunlight.
the balcony, quote unquote.
Okay.
Mhm. That good lighting.
All right. My new galaxy from the same galaxy. I don't think we
Oh
should
my
go in the
God.
front.
We're making that a thing, aren't we?
Follow me this way.
It's gonna
And
be a t-shirt.
Gonna have to
he'll
cross
try
it,
to
okay.
make his way discreetly to the fire escape.
He goes, huh? Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
The palace.
Yeah.
Huh?
In my
Yeah,
mind,
come on.
Izzy has big like recognition of people's vibes, and Kilo seems has big QB energy about him in most situations, where it's like this is clearly a team captain of a person that like never acknowledges that. It's just like,
Yep.
no, it's about the team kind of energy, but it's just obviously the guy that you listen to. Big coach energy too. So you all make your way out to the back and everything. Out to the back. There is a kind of a classic fire escape, which would be hard for most people to reach because the ladder is actually kind of raised up like it usually is from the ground floor, unless it's being used. But fortunately for y'all, Kilo is 7 feet tall, which means that standing on and not even trying to
gosh.
jump,
Oh,
9.5 foot of reach. Just flat-footed.
Oh, man.
And so you can easily grab that and climb up it.
Okay.
We didn't define what floor that Terry's thing was on, so this is going to be very funny. Tery, give me a 2d6 roll and tell me what the combined number is.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's
be fun.
3.
3.
2 and
Oh,
1.
Terry, 3. Good for this moment.
Oh,
Bad for
that's
Terry's
not right
ego.
normal.
Bad for Terry's ego.
Ego. But good for this moment. So he's
My
only a few
neighbors
floors
can
up.
watch me streaming.
It's the fishbowl effect. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
As long as you don't think about it.
You have one of those TRL experiences too. You have fans outside the window.
Yeah.
Right. You shimmy up pretty quickly. It's not hard. This is built to climb and everything. You come upon the exterior of Terry's condo. I need from Izzy and Kilo. And from Eddie and Tery. I need survey rolls or survey rolls. Yeah.
Cool.
This is basically, do you notice each other?
What are the stakes?
Do you make eye contact across the room?
Pretty minimal at this point. Low.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
All right.
I wouldn't use a drive.
At this point,
6.
this is a
6.
dangerous place, so I get to roll one more.
The inside
Sure.
panic people definitely see it.
I got a 4.
A 3.
All right. So, you're looking, or Kilo and Izzy, you are looking in to try and see if you can spot Tery. Neither of you know that Eddie's there. Eddie or Izzy, when you spot him, you'll know him. But on the inside, in the panic, well, Eddie's trying to come up with a situation and everything, and Tommy's like looking around and being very look with his hands about various things. Julia, give me a D6 roll. You want it to be high. This is just a luck check.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Consequences low, but flavor of consequences high.
Julia has been rolling so much.
And
That is
badly.
fact. It's a big moment for
Let's do.
Julia.
2.
Okay. Julia, define for me, you, the player, one of your most nostalgic shows.
Ooh.
Power Rangers.
Tery doesn't know
Yeah.
what this toy is from. This perfect Gen 1 Power Rangers Zordon that Tery just has. He
It
just
would be SPD, but
SPD. Okay, SPD.
Wow.
SPD. My
Nice,
bad.
nice choice.
My bad.
Mhm.
SPD.
Nice.
Nice.
Full kit, pristine, out of package. I mean, we are thousands of years in the future. Out of package, but well maintained, and actually manufactured from the plastics of the era, and everything. And
They don't make them like
Tommy
that.
looks at
There's
it,
a little
Trash.
bit in them.
holds it, and then just flings it aside because it's light and cheap feeling and everything. True.
I think Tery whimpers
whimpers a little
just
bit.
for once.
You both catch, Eddie and Tery. You both see Izzy and Kilo on the outside of Terry's condo. Tommy is facing away from the window, as is
That has to be a sight. Oh, good God.
as is. Well, it's strange because Tery knows you both, but doesn't know
The
you
reptiles are
together.
here.
Eddie, you know Izzy, and Izzy apparently has a friend that might have played some sport. It's a big dude, with him.
I think Alexander talked about him.
Yeah, it's big. And so you recognize them, but the reason that Izzy and Kilo don't immediately clock you is they're immediately distracted by something that is currently distracting Tommy and the Mantis.
Oh,
Nim,
Oh no.
you've been
That's me.
My Chemical Romance, eyeline bleeding, weeping in
It's been
deep
Skyscrapers by Demi Lovato.
just full emotions, but it's
When I was a young chick, I thought
it's been
Tragic.
sad,
Sorry.
but like that feeling of release, like that good feeling of crying, where it's like like your body has wanted it for so long, and this is finally giving you permission to have it. And so
Emotional blockage is gone.
yeah, in that way, it is simultaneously simultaneously very, very like sad in the way that you're sad for the animals, and the song always rings true of the commercial that canonically exists in the future now.
It's
But
there's some little alien pets like big old bug
but
eyes or whatever.
it feels good to be able to just let emotion happen to you. It's why you don't notice that you're initially that you're levitating off of the gurney. Can I have you roll,
Holy.
please, Nim?
Holy.
Can I have you roll
Okay.
I'm gonna say you can pick a little bit if you want to. You
Okay.
can pick either survey or sense or maybe even control if you want to. So you're either feeling this with your emotions, feeling it with your physical senses, or feeling it with just your body.
That's pretty cool.
Let's.
Lots of different interpretations.
Yeah. Because I think that's kind of how this would feel, where you're like, I'm not,
Yeah.
gravity isn't affecting me anymore. You might
Something's
feel that
up.
body.
Yeah.
But something is different than ever you've felt.
Let's go. I think she would lean more towards the intuition. I think maybe survey.
Mm-hmm.
I think survey. Okay.
I believe in you.
Not good. 3.
Maybe I don't.
Oh.
Sorry.
Now, you used an intuition. You have a resistance. And if I recall correctly, resistance allows you to attempt again. I might be wrong. Let me double
Ooh.
check.
Ooh.
Nim's so cool. Nim can fly now.
Well, she was
Crazy.
alien.
That's true. Does Nim have natural flight? Or is she more of a flightless
It's more.
bird?
They've become more vestigial, her race, over the years.
Okay. Cool.
You just triggered
And
my
then-
Let me
fighter
reread
flight
the rules
response.
for resistance.
And I am a flightless
Okay.
bird.
This is bad.
I fucking love that meme.
Her species retained the mockingbird tendencies, but not the flight, over a couple thousand years.
I need to roll to see how Izzy's feet are. Are we going full chameleon, gecko, or a knoll?
Which one loses
Okay,
their
so
tail when they
you can
do it?
re-roll your die again if you wanna do this. Consequences for this are not permanently high, but they do very much affect your experience in this scene.
No, yeah.
Oh
If
boy.
I use the resistance, do I lose the resistance?
Yeah, you burn the resistance, but you can get your resistance back by
By doing what?
Regaining the drive again.
by regaining the drive. Once you have when you have 3 drives in something,
Yeah.
you basically earn 3 drives. That gives you 1 resistance.
Okay.
But you can't have any more than 1 resistance?
You can have up to 2.
I
You
just
can
don't know
have
how
up
to
to
interpret
6.
the little I don't know how to interpret the little triangles.
The triangle is 1. If you had 2, there'd be 2 triangles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
they appear or disappear. Fully.
Okay.
They don't fill in, I don't think.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'll try again just
Yeah.
because
Good to
I
know.
think it would be neat.
Okay.
Demiplane is cool. Hey, Demiplane. Hey, Demiplane.
That is better. That is
Do you
a
want to
5.
sponsor our stream?
Demiplane, you want to sponsor us?
Hey, Demiplane.
You're
looking real
we
good
have so
tonight.
many
You wanna-
Twitch
Good
viewers.
plug.
Don't look
Let
at
me
the
take
chat.
you out, Demiplane.
Yes.
This game brought to you by
Let's go for
Demiplane.
coffee and see where it goes.
Let me take you out.
Demiplane, let's go out for coffee or tea if you're into that kind of thing. We
Yeah.
take separate
You
cars
don't
for
know.
our
Tea,
own
if
personal
you're
safety.
into
Whatever
that
you
kind of
want.
thing.
Let's
Whatever
chat and
you
get to
want.
know each other.
We're here to take you on your day. Demiplane.
Cars for our own personal safeties to make sure we're both good in the situation.
Let us treat you.
Because we respect you,
Yeah.
Demiplane.
We respect you.
Guys, not for free. Wait.
And wait,
This is the initial flirtation.
this is the initial
I hate
flirtation.
it so
We're
much.
Yeah.
buying in.
Yeah.
This is the message on Bumble. You know,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Everybody wink at
I
the same
wouldn't
time.
know.
1, 2, 3.
Wink.
I know there's a vocal delay probably on here.
It's okay.
Most likely. That probably just looks really
I
weird,
did
but that's
blink,
okay.
yeah.
Fine.
I'm
For
gonna
the
try.
vibe.
I'm gonna try to
I
capture
bet you
that sound.
Demiplane liked it.
What did you? What
I'm
did?
watching you watching me.
Yeah.
I'm watching
You have a lot more hope in it than I
I'm just
do.
gonna title the episode
Gotta
"Demiplane."
get
Will
back.
you go out with me?
Plane one day at a time.
So Abby, what did you roll again?
Let's hope this
The
Demiplane takes
second roll
flight.
was a 5.
A 5.
Ooh,
Okay.
that was good. That was good, Glitch.
I didn't
Yes.
catch it. I'll have to catch
We
it.
hope this Demiplane takes flight, you know?
Oh, very
Yes.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And by that, I mean very, very, very cringe.
Horrible.
But like in a good way. I respect it.
It satisfies parts of me that I don't like that they like it.
It's like I like it, but I hate that I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm mad, but I'm smiling.
Nim, you finally get to a point where your mind kind of begins to meet this where it is.
Mm-hmm.
It took several minutes, maybe a half hour or so from the moment you really started to hear it to now, maybe 20 minutes. But you finally begin to understand. You're like, oh, something externally is affecting me about this thing and it's currently affecting me
I'm
very
not just listening
strongly
anymore. This is a thing.
and and it's coming from the earbud. I understand that this chant, you still don't understand the words in like a language form. You don't comprehend what they mean, but you do clearly hear them. And you do clearly hear that da 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 kind of cadence to it. But you understand that this outside thing is deeply affecting your brain and your body, and that you are floating. What do you do in this instant?
Affecting your bod.
What did you say?
I said it's affecting your bod.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I heard something else as well.
I heard something and I was like, I don't think
where is Nim's panic button?
No.
Time to press the panic button.
a little cloaque button, if you will.
This is a no judgment space.
A little bit of that.
It's a cloaca.
It's over. They fully rolled away in abject horror.
BRB, quick therapy session, and I'll be right back.
Sorry.
I do need you to know that Cloaca is going to be another product graphic I make for the end of.
No.
I think only products from the conglomerate you technically work for.
Only.
For that, but yeah, what do you do with this knowledge? You now you have enough conscious control over yourself that you recognize what's happening. You know that you're floating, you don't know how, and everything, and you know that this is piping into your ear from your earbud.
I'm sure we just like hesitate for a moment, just be like, okay. I think I need to change the channel. She's gonna pluck her earbud out for a moment to try to just hear the real world with both ears for a moment.
You said plucking your bird.
Very good catch, Glitch.
I regret every decision I've ever made since I was born. Okay.
So I need, and I'm going to ask for each of your actions in order because now we're fully caught up in time. I need to know. So here's what's going to happen. Nim, the first thing that's going to happen is the moment you unplug your earbud from your ear, you drop down into your gurney. You were only a few feet up. You're not going to get hurt. You're just going to like drop down like someone flopping down into an easy chair, and everything. That's going to make a hell of a racket. While this was happening and they were levitating up, it was only for a few seconds. Tommy just stopped talking, as did the man. Well, the mantis doesn't talk, but Tommy just stopped talking and was just staring kind of past Eddie and Tery. Eddie and Tery were staring at Izzy and Kilo outside. Izzy and Kilo, now that person is dropped and you see the scene has happened, I'm going to have all of you roll 2d6 and tell me the total number. This is kind of an initiative, and I'm going to tell you what the action is. Like, you're going to tell me what your action here is in this moment as things are about to pop off. 7 for Kilo, 5 for
12.
Eddie, 12 for Tery. What did you get? Izzy?
9.
9 for Izzy.
9.
9.
3 for Nim. Almost appropriate because you're the one who just kind of slops down into a seat and it was like, what? Okay, so Tery, you are 12. You are the first person to be able to react to this moment. A loud noise. Tommy's kind of tensing up, seems to be shocked. You see Izzy and Kilo, 2 of your friends outside your place. Eddie is beside you, or is kind of in front of you, but between you and Tommy a little bit and everything. And then the mantis is sort of behind Tommy. And you also know that it would probably be good, unless you want this captured on stream, to avoid a whole like area of your home. There's like a doorway. It's not a significant blockade, but of course you may or may not want this on stream. But that is a potential consequence of you rolling really low if you like move around or something.
Okay.
So what's Terry's first sort of like action move here?
Okay. I for sure I try to make a sign for the fellows outside the window.
Mm-hmm.
Hey fellas.
Hey fellas.
Hey fellas. Boys.
But I try to do it in a way that like it seems like I'm showing the apartment. I'm like moving like you can do whatever you want, and I'm like the like my brow shaking looking at the people out of the window. And then I think I'll offer, I'll be like, would you guys like some drinks? I can go fetch some.
All right, Tery, give me a sway check, my good friendly fellow.
You're charismatic. I feel like you're gonna be good.
I have 2. Yeah, I think
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's
Tery's definitely the face.
5.
5.
Oh,
and
good,
a 1.
good.
If they weren't so distracted in the moment, they might be like, no, like, might be more on it. But now that they're confused a little bit because of the clattering noise in this brief moment, they're like, yeah, go get us a drink. And so the most importantly, that blaster finally is no longer trained on you, Tery.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty sure that you're just a coward, and it's fine. And everything. So Tery, do you actually go back to like the kitchen or the wet bar or wherever Tery keeps his drinks? And
there is no way that I can go to the window without them seeing me.
You could do a hide roll about it.
I'm gonna do a hide roll.
Okay, that'll be your third sort of like statement of action. Give me that hide roll.
Can I use a drive?
You can use your last drive in cunning. Yeah. What is Terry's beverage of choice?
Yes.
What is what?
What's Terry's beverage of choice?
A beverage of choice? Probably milk.
Oh God! Oh yes!
Yes! We don't know which creature milk Tery drinks, but
it's definitely Tery. Tery likes mammalian juice. Is what Tery likes.
I thought we were gonna get like a cocktail of some kind, and we got milk.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God!
Sure. Dirty margarita.
No, with milk.
No,
there's milk in it.
It's 100%
in the margarita.
It's either milk
or the feeling where it's like creamy, and it's like that's what the point of it is.
It's a milkarita.
It's a milkarita.
No, he would never mix it.
No, you never ruined milk.
What and milk together?
Yeah, you never ruined the God damn it, Julia!
It's amazing.
That might be the joke of the stream so far. That's the galaxy or galaxy from another galaxy.
It was
joke
totally a joke.
I mean, like
that's the best
deliberate comedic beat of being like, I don't know what dunks on this guy. Milk feels like
he feels like
it's so perfect. He feels like a guy who just drinks milk. As a man that drinks an unreasonable quantity of regular old 2% milk as an adult 42-year-old man, it does upset everyone around.
100 and something year old man.
Good for the bones.
Can confirm. So
yes.
yeah, this would be a hide roll, and then we will move.
Okay.
I think next is Izzy or yeah, I think Izzy's next on the initiative.
I think I used my last drive from Cunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and so it's 3
3d6.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, it's already a 6.
Already a 6. Beauty.
Awesome.
Yeah, so like the knight, you move away. It's weird for someone that's so often perceived by so many on screens. In the real world, Tery, you're quite good at just disappearing from people's thoughts, for better or worse.
Unforgettable.
As long as no one knows about where that little baby Pinky lives.
No. Why do we have to bring it back in?
The less I think about that, the happier I am. Let me be happy. Let me be happy, Steve.
No.
No.
So you slip around Tommy's notice and get yourself up conveniently as it transitions over to Izzy's turn, right to the kind of. I'm just gonna say, because it's a condo and it's kind of on the third floor, a big sliding glass piece that just sort of like you unlock it with your fingerprint, and it just kind of slides on the wall. Izzy, you see your friend Tery quietly and very silently letting you in, sneaking about, cat burglar like.
I look at Kilo. And I slowly attempt, like exactly hand side, just.
So excited.
If you played the sport, you knew exactly what I was saying.
Don't play sport.
Yeah. You're trying to interpret it from like a military perspective, Kilo, and it's just nothing.
Damn.
Are they calling for a right tackle?
It's exactly what they go like.
Left flank. I don't know. Oh, crush him. Macarena.
So.
Yes. Do the hustle.
Okay.
Do.
Izzy, you see your friend Tery. You've got Kilo beside you. You're currently out of sight of Tommy. What's Izzy's instinctual action here? You can see that Tommy has a blaster in his hand. Like, Tommy's obviously not in a good person.
Has Izzy seen the blaster?
Yes.
Because I'm like, how himbo am I going to play Izzy? Now, do these doors open silently or
yeah,
windows
it's fully silent. It's been fully silent.
I take the big guy, you take the little guy, and I go at the blast.
Why? That makes no sense.
So Izzy's gonna move on in and tackle. So Tommy's the small guy. Mantis, who doesn't have a blaster, is the big dude. Which one does it go for? Tommy, the one with the blaster? Yeah.
I intentionally got them screwed up for it. Just like.
So Kilo, you see Tery slowly open it. Izzy makes a bunch of hand gestures at you that you can't understand, and doesn't project any volume when they mouth things.
All right.
And then just bolts and immediately goes in and is beelining for Tommy. Now, Izzy, the first thing I'm going to have you do then is I'm going to have you roll for move. This is about your speed first. And this is about the better this roll is. So, consequences here are the better this roll is, the better your strike roll will be when you reach Tommy, or the lower the DC, if you will. Will be there, and you do have a hella drives right now, Izzy, in your nerve section. So
I'm going for gun.
You are driven.
Okay, so first move.
Wow, there's one die just to spinning, and a 3 is my highest one.
All right.
What does resistance do again?
That you can burn a resistance, and then that lets you re-roll it. And you have 2 resistances in your nerve because you stacked up in nerve.
I'm gonna re-roll that because that was atrocious. And this is the pivotal moment.
Supercalifragilistic. That was so atrocious.
4 mixed success. That's good. That's on the positive side. Okay, that means that you are not getting the full advantageous jump on them. They do begin to hear you, but they don't have enough time to fully react. So now if you want to go for that gun, a 6 will give you will knock the gun out of his hand. A 4 or a 5 will tackle him and let you kind of control the gun hand and be fighting over it. A 3 or a 2 will mean that you fail, but you don't take damage, and then a 1 will mean that you take some form of body damage, but only 1 mark. I'm just laying that out for you because it's the first time we've gotten into combat, and so essentially you don't want a 1 or several ones because you at least have 2 in strike. You can use your drives to add die. I will let you add up to 2 drives, so you can roll up to 4d6 to try and get one of them to show a 6. And if 2 of them or more show a 6, let me know.
I'm using both. Why the hell not?
Yes.
Go big or go home.
Exactly.
Come on.
5 is my highest one.
5 is your highest one. So, Izzy, you're able to move in, tackle, knock Tommy back, maybe not all the way to the ground, maybe against a wall. Tery, you see one of your collectible plates just falls off of a shelf and smashes. Smashes.
It was Fiesta wear.
I'm just ruining Julia's fictional character apartment for this fight.
It's
Eddie,
ruining my life.
You see Izzy come in and form tackle Tommy. Eddie, you know Izzy from various sports and athletics. You two have hung out a little bit. Maybe you've connected up on some gambling off of Izzy. Maybe you've talked to some of Izzy's less than scrupulous colleagues in various athletics. But Izzy, I don't think himself has ever done anything like throw a game or manipulate a stat. I don't. That's just not the character read I get from Izzy. Right. But nonetheless, you see this happen and everything. Who was next in the initiative? Because it was a 12, a 9. Who got like a 7? I want to say.
I got a 7.
I think it was you then. Kilo. Izzy busted out. What does Kilo do?
Do I see this mantis character?
Oh yeah, he's got 4 arms, just like you. Apparently, that's how I narrated him in the first thing, according to my transcribed
and we
notes.
were allowed to select our gear, right? Just making sure.
You were allowed to select your gear, or you could, in the moment, be like, I need a this thing, and it would be reasonable for me to have it. So either is fine.
So I did. So I think the window is already open. So he just kind of. And the mantis is unarmed.
Mantis is unarmed. Arms. He's very strong. He's big. He's not quite as tall as you, but he is a muscular beefcake of a boy.
Okay.
Beef.
I think Kilo just takes a single step over the ledge and makes a big show of ducking to enter.
Of course. All the doorways are still 6'8", standard construction compliance in North America. 6 feet 8 inch clearance.
Does not run up to the mantis like Izzy did. What he does do is from his pocket, which is something he just uses this for utility, like for his job, and it's not normally a weapon, but he does pull like the equivalent of a more futuristic like Swiss Army knife from his pocket that he just like uses for everything.
Yep.
He
would be the type that would always have a Swiss Army knife on him.
Yeah, I would believe it.
But it's like it's
got a toothpick on it.
You picture a small thing, but it's made to scale for him. So in anybody else's hand, this would be a big freaking knife, but it just looks like a normal knife in his hand. And so he is stalking up to the mantis not trying to, you know what? I see Izzy shove Tommy against the wall. And I think Kilo might try to actually follow Izzy's lead in that respect and pull a similar maneuver by attempting to pin the mantis up against the wall and have the knife in the other hand at his throat.
Okay, so
to just stop it.
I'm gonna have you then, Kilo, give me 2 rolls. The first roll is your strike roll because you're not trying to surprise, and the second roll will be your control roll. You get +1 die to either of these rolls. So you can take that knife and put it either into strike or you can put it into control. Put it into control. And I believe you still have a couple of drives in nerve.
I do.
Yeah, and just like Izzy, I'm gonna give you the ability to go upwards of 4 die on these rolls, or you could split your drives up. You can balance it, whatever.
I'm gonna split them up.
Yeah, so you can do a 3d6 and a 3d6 if you want it to be.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
You still have a resistance in this slot.
So it's strike to do the tackle.
It's strike to do the pin, and then control to sort of finesse the knife in a way that it demobilizes the mantis so that he's less likely to respond.
He knows he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Yes, one overpower, one's like, hey, you move, you die.
We got a 6 on the first one.
Beautiful.
Yes, 1-6.
Okay, Mantis is immediately, I don't know if you intended to specifically put a surprising amount of hurt on him on this pin, but him being a Mantis, he's got a big square frame and he's under this double-breasted pinstripe like gangster suit, and then you remember that like he's also a Mantis, which means his actual figure is much slimmer than it might imply in that suit.
Okay. He's just a little guy.
Yeah. It's a lot more svelte.
And
take the big
You're
guy.
a coward. Who's the coward now?
The control is a 4.
4. So I'm gonna have you roll something on the Mantis's turn, which will happen after Eddie and Nim's turn. Okay. Eddie, you're next. You just watched Izzy and Kilo explode in. You don't really know Kilo, but you just watched Izzy and his friend pop in, and both of them have fully tackled Tommy and the Mantis, who I'm gonna refer to as Beef. Beef the Mantis.
Yeah, I read your hand signs real clear.
You understood, yeah.
Eddie, outside of your action, I'm going to have you roll a specific roll here, just to see if you garner a bit of information that I can narrate to you as the GM. Sense. Not magical, just sort of internal sense, if you will. Or, sorry, read. It's the same amount of die. Read. What?
6.
6. Perfect. Eddie, you're in kind of a pickle here. You're friends with Izzy, and you know Tery, and Nim, who apparently has woken up after falling onto the gurney they were laying on previously. You didn't see them float, and everything. So you know people here, but Tommy knows you, and Tommy thinks that you're on his, like, that you're, like, as far, you and Tommy have a working relationship. And so I'm just letting you know, you're in kind of a pickle here. This is a little hot spot for Eddie. What's Eddie thinking?
Oh no.
This is interesting.
This is me making the other.
Who's on Tommy?
Izzy. So the one that you're actually friends with.
Well, I think Terry's like, save my friend. Who's gonna save my life? This guy I don't even know.
Yeah, Tery seems to know both of these two.
All right.
There are no wrong answers.
All right. I'm actually going to try to pull Izzy off of Tommy.
Okay.
And just my goal here is to play peacemaker. Just like whoa, like this doesn't have to escalate any further. Like Tommy, Tommy, take what you need, and we don't. This doesn't have to end. You're getting off cheap, all right? All right, Tery.
My Power Rangers collection.
Like Tommy's like grabbed a couple of things already, right? He's
pocketed many things already. Like he's good at quickly lifting materials off shelves. He grew up being like a petty kid, shoplifting and everything like that. He had your classic Chicago gangster child upbringing.
Does Tommy still have a gun in his hand?
He does, but he can't do much with it because Izzy's hand is also on it.
Without taking, here's him say that he should get up off of Tommy.
Well, no, like actually, like with that in mind, with the gun, I might try to grab the gun first.
Okay.
Okay. I was gonna tell Izzy, like, don't let him up until he drops the gun.
So if you go for the gun first,
no tea, no compass, no nothing.
I'm gonna try to go for the gun and basically try to break them up.
Okay.
So like, in order to try to end this, like, Tommy, you've got a good stash right there. If you keep this up, shit's gonna go sideways, and that's the last thing we need right now.
Okay, so are you wanting to roll something physical or something or are you wanting to roll sway, or I would say it has to be either control or strike to a kind of a body choice if you're gonna do like a nerve choice. So sway, control, strike.
I think it's going to be strike to try to get at least get the gun away.
Okay. Medium consequences on this with your relationship with Tommy. So, medium consequences. I'm not doing a weird GM thing where high success has a negative result. So you still want to roll for success to get your positive result out of this. You do have a couple remaining drives in nerve if you want to burn them.
Yeah.
But medium consequence with your relationship.
I'm gonna burn one drive.
Okay, so that should give you 2d6 then on that one.
Okay. That's a 4.
It's 4. Okay. You do manage to get the gun out of Tommy's hand. You kind of wrench it out. You hear him you hear him, like, it obviously affects him and everything.
Yeah.
And he looks at you dubious, but not angrily, because it's a mixed success. Not angrily and everything. And he goes, like, what do you mean, Eddie? You know these jamokes? I mean, obviously we all know Tery, but
At least jamokes like wrench his arm a little bit more. So means, but I like the way you said it.
It's not like no. Okay. I know Izzy. I know Izzy. Like we don't. This doesn't need to escalate any further. Okay. You've got some solid. You got a solid bunch of loot right there. And furthermore, I know Izzy. I can vouch for him. Trust me, if he's more capable than I am, okay? And if you trust me, then you should be able to trust him.
Basically, if he could break you, he would have done it already.
Yeah.
So let me think. I like that because you're using what Tommy said to you earlier. Tommy was trusting you on a pretty big job, and you have delivered for him time and time again. So I'm gonna give you 2d6 to roll this sway.
All right.
No, and you have 1 drive left in cunning.
Yep.
So, again, medium consequences. Relationship with Tommy. It's going to be very hard for you to fully fail this, but you're like fail getting this done the way you want it. But the relationship with Tommy changes.
You know what? I'm going to use that last drive
Yeah.
that I have.
I think that
Awesome.
succeeding with a 6, all good. Succeeding with a 4 or 5, still okay. Anything below that, negative relationship. A 1, very negative relationship.
So does that mean I'm rolling 3d6 now?
3d6.
Okay.
You also, since you're in cunning, have the ability to reroll it if you choose to.
How many do I re-roll? Just all of them, or
what's your high number right now?
high number's a 4 right now.
Okay, so we did this last time. In the last session, Julia was pretty confident that they could do better than a mixed success, and they rolled 2 1s and a 2. You would roll all 3 of them if you burned your resistance here. You would roll all 3 of them again. And like I said, what you want to happen here is probably going to happen either way. But with Tommy at least. But if you
I'll
roll
keep
worse,
the 4 then.
yeah,
I'll keep the 4.
4. So that's still a mixed success, which means that Tommy, obviously frustrated with the position you're taking, you can sense that it adjusts your view in his eyes a little bit, but not drastically. He doesn't give you like an angry look or like a betrayed look or anything like that.
Yeah.
He just thinks a little bit about it, cognates it, and then he decides to not resist here. And so you can feel it, Izzy. He just, instead of fighting you on it, he just shouts out, "You're gonna ruin my suit!" And everything. However, it is now...
You ruined it with those shoes already, but that's my taste. I'm more of a summer guy.
It is now Nim's turn. Nim, you've watched all this go down. You can very
out of her
visually...
stupor just to see violence. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have very visibly seen. You recognize. You definitely recognize Tery and Eddie because you've worked for both of them. You don't really know Izzy or Kilo. You have no idea who this Tommy guy is, or this big mantis that this other, like, that Kilo is up against is. But you can see that the mantis doesn't seem nearly as swayed as Tommy does. Like, they're obviously resisting. But it seems like Tommy's been quiet. What does Nim do here?
So the mantis is still resisting pretty strong?
Yeah. You can see muscles straining. Kilo looks like they've got him pretty well pinned, but you can see that is not fully convinced the mantis that they're out of this fight.
It's like pitting your little sibling.
I will say that even as the mantis is like struggling to push up from against the wall, Kilo is maintaining eye contact the entire time.
Yeah.
Like just staring him down, like give it up.
It's like pinning a sibling, like a much younger sibling. Like,
yeah.
Stop.
Stop.
I'm literally just waiting for him to be done.
But nonetheless,
like the younger sibling, they just kind of hold at distance because their arms are shorter than you, and you're just like, can you
not
stop?
But yeah, so what does Nim do
I'm
in
the
this
younger
situation?
sibling, so I can't relate.
Couldn't possibly. But yeah, what's Nim doing here?
Well, that's you and your dish. She's probably gonna slowly kind of like push herself out of her cot and kind of move towards the door and be like, "Can we just, perchance, all just leave amicably? At this point, this is a lot."
All
Can we just
right.
part ways real quick?
Give me a sway roll.
Way.
Meanwhile, Izzy and Tommy are arguing over fashion.
My beautiful
It's like
suit.
there's a lot of violence and a lot of shouting.
Oh,
Ah.
you ruined that
Drop
suit with
them.
those shoes is a comment that Izzy said.
Hey, I have a
That would be a
personal
5.
tailor. 5.
5.
That's
Well,
a
he took
good
it
mixed
personal.
success.
Personally.
You feel it lightening a little bit of the resistance, Kilo, as that pulls it out. It's strange for someone to just speak calmly in this situation, and that grabbed the Beef's attention. Beef the mantis,
Good boy. Good
Beef's
boy.
attention and everything, and he looks over at Tommy, and then he looks back at you, making eye contact with him with his big old mantis eyes and everything. And his shoulders sort of relax a little bit. Nim,
Better.
I think decisions have been made, and I think it's time for us to all walk away from this.
We should
Yeah.
all listen to the fish
No.
lady.
Walk away from
Bird.
this.
Bird lady.
Bird.
These are
I think I'll
feathers.
keep the
Feathers.
fish. because he's
Terry canonically calls fish lady.
Feathers.
Call birds fish and fish birds.
Fish.
Please
fish
listen to the cat lady.
Feathers.
lady.
Scales.
Yes,
I
listen
don't
to
have
that.
pets. I'm sorry.
Scales.
Honestly, Terry's probably seen so many creatures evolve from the same thing. Like,
It's all fish.
It's all the same.
we all go back to
It's all
crab.
crabs.
It's all crab.
So
We come from crab, we return to crab. And so to crab we will return. All
The
right, Nim.
crustaceans, they thrive.
Because you positioned yourself by the door, Nim,
Yes,
would
she
you
is by the
please
door.
give me either a survey or a sense roll? Your choice.
Survey or sense? Let's
Got
go
more dots in
survey.
survey.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do survey. We're gonna do survey. That one is another 5.
Nim, I'm going to give you a choice to make, and I'm going to
Oh,
DM
Lord.
it to you.
Okay.
Wow.
That's not
Oh.
terrifying.
Yes. I want secrets.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me
This is
pull,
No
let me pull this
fair.
up on my phone so I can.
All right,
that,
then. Keep your
so you
This
can
is so
read.
cool.
This is that this is the critical role moment where one of them goes, guys, D&D Beyond. Or
Guys,
Demi
Demiplane.
plane. Right,
Demiplane.
Oh, yeah.
Have you romanced Demi-plane today?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you probably
You
should.
could be
Have
romancing
you guys
Demiplane right
drank
now.
your milk?
Have you sipped your 2%?
my brain
I
just
just love that it was the beverage of choice. The first response that came to mind was milk.
drink your milk and
Milk
take your
with a
vitamins.
question mark milk?
Like,
Milk?
you can enjoy milk, that's fine.
Okay.
It's just that the fact that it
It's
was
a question
first.
mark.
Okay,
It was
wait.
number one.
Speaking of drink your milk and take your vitamins, folks, can we just talk for a minute about the fact that Hulk Hogan got booed on live Raw, like WWE Raw?
For the Netflix
Like-
premiere event.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Because he's a
what?
piece of shit.
he's a piece of shit, and they were already sucking that Nick. I'm not gonna say that on that, but there's like too much booty kissing of Netflix already, on top of Hogan being a horrible person in general.
Yeah. But my favorite reaction to all of that is poor Jimmy Hart. Like Jimmy Hart's standing behind him, waving the American flag. Dude's in his 80s. And he's coming out here just like to be another one of these, legends that shows up for the
Happy
premiere.
to be here.
And it's like and evident, like according to everything I've heard behind the scenes, Jimmy Hart is like the nicest human being on the planet. So like for him to be like, yep, I'm just gonna come here and wave the American flag, and because he came out there with Hulk fucking Hogan, it's just boo. Con
He
just
looked like he
shower
blue
of
screened.
booze.
Steve, are you with us? Okay, just checking.
It just I don't know.
Those
Like
3 dots are the more terrifying thing that I've seen all day.
but also
Oh my
as
God.
someone who is just
Oh
One
no!
second.
Oh, Steve's
The num-
Typing
typing.
dots. He's
the number of
typing. He's
time-
focused.
the number of times that WWE has tried to
He's
like
locked in.
rehabilitate
Locked
the
in.
the image of Hulk Hogan, or Hulk Hogan refuses to step away from it, and just now the whole audience has let their feelings be known about him.
Just stop, Hulk.
And see I know there's some people out there that would say like, oh, it's political because he was so vocally supportive of Trump. Undertaker supported Trump too, and he didn't get booed.
But like it's just that you've been a piece of shit for the longest already before this. Like,
oh yeah, yep.
And that was just like the icing on the cake for it. Like,
well, especially, and the other thing is because it was on Netflix, and that means the Netflix audience has watched the Mr. McMahon documentary, which, from what I haven't seen it yet, but from what I understand, does not pull its punches on how much of a piece of shit.
Oh no, we lost Julia.
We just lost the
turned that off for a
camera, I
moment.
think.
Julia, can you hear us?
I think they had to step away for a brief moment.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to DM me back. You can just make your choice.
Yeah,
I'm
thinking for just a moment.
All right, Abby.
I'm just considering.
You're under a time crunch. We got 8 minutes.
Let's put a scene together. There was a heist, a failed heist basically, where the heister with the pistol got attacked by a chameleon-like alien, and his henchman got guarded by a much bigger reptilian.
When they and all of these people kind of know pieces of the other people around each other by happenstance.
Has the gun now, trying to calm people down, and now the dude who started the heist is arguing with the lizard guy about fashion.
Yep,
because I am putting that in there.
It's canon. It's canon. Tommy's now going to have fashion descriptions for everything.
And I'm about to eat a bug because it's good protein.
Yeah.
Good protein. Pure protein.
Wow.
Beef the Mantis doesn't like that.
Listen, like
life might happen.
There is something primal in Kilo that says, eat this, Mantis.
Eat this, Mantis.
Eat this. This is food. Eat it.
I think she's going to just kind of go, excuse me one moment, and just slip out the door.
Okay, so you slip out the door.
Right.
I need you. We're not going to describe what happens here. I need you to roll sway for me.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you burn your last drive in it.
Didn't you say she wanted us to?
I will make this happen. Izzy will always insult Tommy's outfit in some form or fashion.
I'm doing. Yep.
What's happening?
Yep.
Consequences about where you think they are.
In this situation, I rolled a 5 again.
Okay.
4 and a 5, but I got a 5. But just as a theory, in this situation, would I be able to use verbose?
What does verbose do? Describe verbose to me.
When you make a speech or hold a conversation to assist an ally, the die that you give. No, wait, that's to help somebody else. Ignore me. That was my bad. It's to help an ally, but I'm not. But they're not doing something. I'm doing something, so I don't think it counts.
All right. A mixed success is good for you, but not for the group. You have a resistance, so you can try and re-roll it, and I'll let you roll 2. I'll let you roll what you rolled originally, so with the drive. I'll let you roll 2. You can go for higher, but you might get lower. 4 or 5 is a mixed success. It's good for you. It's not good. It doesn't address the problem for the group.
I don't know if I can get higher than a 5.
I mean, you can get a 6. You have a 50. You have a 33% chance to get a 6 with 2d6.
I believe in you.
Oof. Sure. Hey, I want to get my 4th 5.
Even if you goof it, it's still a good story.
I mean, it's arguably a more fun story if you goof.
Yeah.
Is that a 6, baby? 6.
Hey! I rolled a 6 and a 1 for the second.
Yes, that's always the way. It's like when you roll with advantage or disadvantage, and it's like a 20 and a 1.
Right, so it's like no.
Because you rolled a 6.
It's a 19 and a 2.
You have the ability to explain the situation in such a manner that they will believe you. Mm-hmm. Do you rat? out the people that are obviously here to do crime or not.
Whoa.
This is in your hand. Because they're going in. But you're now going to set the expectation that they have and how they comport themselves amongst the whole community of people in there. Big.
I don't think she's going to rat. I think in this situation, she's going to try to turn it like, oh, they woke up from something and it got there's a lot of confusion. There was a little bit of like a little panic, but it's all actually fine. There's just confusion and miscommunication with the drama of everything that's happening. I think she's trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, it was all just a big kerfuffle, but everything's actually pretty chill.
As a well-experienced and trained communicator, usually in translation, but in this case,
usually in translation,
in deception, you convince A1 security to not just bust in Tery's door and knock everyone the fuck out.
Button.
The panic button. A1 security opens the door because, of course, they have access to your home in case you are unable to let them in and everything.
Locked in your own
and
closet.
In full riot gear.
Dang.
The riot gear with weapons out, but not trained up on anyone. Down, ground. The like pulse batons that like Demolition Man cops have in the movie Demolition Man. For those that have seen the movie Demolition Man, they're just basically pulse batons. It's a classic. They come in and they immediately just one of them looks and they're like, "Mr. Bite, we got your security. We got your panic notice. Is the situation under control? Your assistant outside explained to us that it was just a accident. Is that correct?"
Actually wiping her like her tears away, like, "Oh yeah, it's fine."
I think Tery's on the ground.
Yeah.
Not crying, but like kind of ridiculously.
Are you okay, sir?
Like scared. No.
No, you're not okay. Is there something amiss? Do we need to address any of these? And they look around at this panoply of people.
I also look around. I think he was just on the ground, and now he checks to see how we're. Oh my god. The cow lady signing to me. Is doing some signals. Okay, I try to check to see what should I do, because I don't want people to rob me, but I also don't want this situation to get.
You don't need
worse.
to do a check for this. You know that there are two paths here. You can potentially make a personal enemy of Tommy and the Mantis, because you know that your security team will make
that's
them
what
away.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
No,
they're trying to rob you. Okay.
I point to them. I'm like, this guy's trying to rob. The rest of them all saved me. They are my best friends, but those men,
they are my best
I hate
friends.
them.
I hate them.
Wait.
They are not very nice. They are bad.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Could that get Eddie lumped in with them?
Eddie.
No, he's my best friend. No, I point to people who are my best friends now.
These are not police officers. They are employed by Tery Bite's security service. They do not care about justice. They care about executing the person that pays their paychecks.
And I look to Eddie and I say, "Don't worry, I got this." As if I wasn't on the ground 2 seconds ago.
Very comforting.
Tommy begins to speak up, and you watch Izzy as well. You're still hurling like minor jabs at his fashion. You watch as he just goes unconscious when the beacon touches his head, and it goes boom, and he just goes unconscious.
See, the police had to come and help you.
Beef the Mantis also receives the same treatment. Well, there's no side effect that you're touching him or holding him in place and everything.
The same khaki suits with the wrong shoes.
And can I just, Tery just do one thing while this happens? Can he goes to the front of his stream and be like, guys, I have to go. It was great, but I'm gonna end the stream a little earlier, and then he ends the stream.
There's been just panic in the chat because you've been gone for minutes at a time and you're never away for that.
Wait,
that
what have they heard out of all of this?
They've heard nothing.
Really good cameras. Just like if you're not directly in front of it, it doesn't hear shit.
Tery muted it and then was too far away for the sync to the communicator to hear it. So they heard and saw nothing. Everybody rolled well enough that they're just confused and worried. Not that we'll necessarily return to it immediately, but as time passes, in the period of time before Tery is next on stream, a campaign to fund a private search for Tery gets fully funded, 10x over and everything. Not that you need it, and there's a website called Save Tery. There's all these rumors going around on the internet. That all happens within 45 minutes.
Tery bites the treasure.
But for now, with that close of the stream in the game, we will close the stream of the game. This has been Dying of Exposure. I've been your game mommy. Let's burn through everyone. We're going to start with Abby. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on TikTok for who knows how long under Google Productions. I'm looking at other places, sort of Instagram. I need to revive that. I'll look into that. I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah.
Glitch, where can people find you?
Well, for now, you can find me at That's Something Glitch on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm also planning on going back to streaming on eNerdbrated, which is EN3RDBRITED. And, I stream games and drink alcohol.
Will, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on TikTok for the rest of the week anyway. After that, you can find me over on Blue Sky at radiofreewill.bluesky.social. I'm also I might start streaming again soon on my personal account, Radio Free Will, twitch.tv/Radio Free Will. Honestly, it's Radio Free Will anywhere. The only one you have to modify is on YouTube, where it's Radio_Free Will. Yeah, that's and you can also find me alternating Friday nights over at ADH Adventures, where I am playing in As the Suns Rise on Creation, their Exalted campaign.
And Julia, you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at stark.ju and around everywhere else.
I should have those links, triple A.
Yeah, triple A.
100%. And last but certainly not least, Kelly, where can people find you?
You can find me as the Kellhop anywhere and everywhere. Also, quick plug, The Heart is a Dungeon is releasing their first episode of The Corner of Pleasure in West River tomorrow, and my character's in the first episode, so go give us a good debut and listen. It's going to be a good series.
It will be.
But yes, the Kellhop everywhere.
And of course, this is Dying of Exposure. You can find Dying of Exposure at Dying of Exposure across all platforms. Hit me up on Red Note. But nonetheless, everyone have a good night. We're gonna raid the Bronze Girl, which is Jasmine Bular's streaming channel.
Jasmine's so cool.
Jasmine's super cool.
Jasmine, if you listen to this, Jasmine, you're so cool.
You're so cool, Jasmine.